I'm Mayuri.
And I'm Taylor.
And this is MT News.
We are a current news podcast, and we're all about keeping you updated on world events while being as interesting as possible.
This month's podcast is all about personal stories and experiences, and boy, were there some good options to choose from.
First, we have a story entered in by one of our listeners, Amanda Baldwin. Her experience is about a time she woke up during a surgery as a young girl. Listen to what she sent to us. It's just another operation. They do this kind of thing all the time, I reassured myself while nervously kicking the air in my seat. I scanned the area, and I'm quickly interrupted by a nurse calling my name. Amanda Baldwin. It took me a while to realize that she was talking to me. Particularly, it's hard to remember much after that until being wheeled away on a stretcher to the operating table. This was a teensy bit dramatic, if you ask me. I was only having my tonsils removed. One of the 3 surgeons hovering over my hospital bed strapped a gas mask to my face and told me to count to 10. Staring at tiles on the ceiling, I got a little drowsy. This was supposed to put me into a deep sleep. However, I could hear distant clinks and beeps throughout my dream. These dreams primarily had something to do with ice cream. The noises gradually became more clamorous as images of chocolate caramel swirl faded in my head. I could once again smell the sterile gloves and masks of the doctors. Am I awake? Is it over? I wondered. This shouldn't be happening. I'm still dreaming. That's it. The blobs and figures above me became more visible, until I began to realize what was going on. I just lied there in shock. The horrifying reality that I, Amanda L. Baldwin, had just awoken during an operation was too much for me to handle. Life-threatening things like this don't happen to average people like me. I'm still trying to convince myself that this isn't happening. The blurry shape of a familiar mask appeared before me. You're okay, one of the surgeons mutters in a very stressful tone. I can't believe this. I'm going to die. There's no way I'm okay. I'll be limited for the rest of my life if I can even make it through today. I'm now in immense pain and trying hard to breathe. The panic I'm going through is almost unbearable. The intense fiery sensation in the back of my mouth is becoming more noticeable as I fall back asleep. About 20 minutes later, I was woken up once again, purposely this time. In addition, someone handed me a cherry popsicle to soothe my burning throat. 2 nurses were frantically whispering to my parents, and I only caught 3 words out of the conversation. Never happened before. Deciphering this was difficult until my younger brother bolted towards me and yelled, "You woke up in the middle of your surgery. What was it like? Tell me." Frozen in shock, I grasped the arms of my wheelchair. Many different explanations of the entire event were given on the way home. After calming down, I realized something important. In that moment, it occurred to me what this was meant to teach me. There's a good chance I could have died today. Even so, I should be overjoyed that I am safe and grateful that I'm at least alive to tell my story.
Wow, that sounds terrifying.
Well, at least it had a happy ending.
Yeah, Miss Baldwin is a frequent listener of ours, and I'm sure that she would like to get a call from us. She earned it with that amazing story.
Yeah, let's call her now. Hello?
Hello, Amanda. This is Taylor and Mayuri from MT News.
Oh my gosh, why are you calling me?
You sent in an awesome story, and we wanted to tell you personally.
Wow, thanks so much.
I can't imagine how scared you must have been when you woke up.
It was even scarier at age 9, but luckily for me, I'm perfectly fine. Well, congratulations for getting your story on our blog. Thank you, bye.
Bye. After the break, we will review a book called Escape, written by a woman living in war-torn Syria.
And we're back to MT News.
Now we move on to the book review. This book is titled Escape by Iris Anonymous. Iris lived in war-torn Syria and recently published the journal that she kept during her escape to a safer country. She and her family now live in Jordan and are perfectly safe. See what you think of Escape by listening to the first chapter. For my entire life, I, Iris, lived in Syria with my close friend Abda. My son, Amin, age 7, came along later. We were living in a country torn by civil war, hopeful for changed citizens versus tyrannical government. This war had made it unsafe to go anywhere except the store. One Tuesday, Abda and I went to the market to acquire necessary supplies. Had we known what would take place on that day beforehand, we would have stowed ourselves at home. As I spun around, I quickly spotted a pantheon of government officials spraying tear gas into the air, and then immediately realized that I had left my son at home, foolishly thinking he'd be safe there. I visualized him crying for me, and I unexpectedly flashed back to when he was born. Feelings exploded inside of me. I need to save him. I was filled with determination by now. I grabbed Abda's arm and headed home. My journey towards home was a blur. I remember the strangulated feeling of my constricted throat, tears in my eyes that kept obscuring my vision, and the weakness of my body. Despite this, after what seemed like hours, I had made it home, Abda still at my side. I opened the door and shrieked in agony. His sweet face was crimson from all the coughing he'd been doing. His soft cheeks were raw from crying. He drew in shaky breaths, no doubt taking in the smoky aroma of the tear gas. Seeing my son on the floor, possibly dead, sent me into a hysteria. Loud howling sobs and tears flew out of me. Everything went black as I fell to the ground. I was dragged to the dirt as I heard screams that said, "Down with Syria. I'm so scared I can't breathe." Sweating hard, I woke up from my nightmare, still gasping for air. I quickly took in the sights around me. Abda, Amin, and I were all in a tiny, dirty, strange camp. All of a sudden, a man with an ample beard walked into the tent. "Ah, you're awake," he declared. "How long was I asleep?" "Who are you?" I questioned him, scared. "Slow down. You were only asleep for about 10 minutes. As for me, I'm a rebel battling against this dictatorship. My name is Dara," he said proudly. "I'm going to help you escape this wretched country." "What? Why?" I asked. "It's no longer safe here for anyone, of course," he shot back. "If you and your family want to live, move to Jordan." I realized then that he was right. It wasn't safe here. Tirias was first. Who knew what would be coming next? After a couple of minutes, Amin and Abda woke up. We had discussed our situation and agreed we would begin a journey to Jordan with Dar to guide us. It's hard to believe that all these life-changing events spanned over only 1.5 hours. However, all these occurrences have taught me one thing. Keep family close. You never know when they'll be in danger. When I read this book, I thought that this book was amazing. I would rate it 4.2 out of 5 stars. It's fast-paced and exciting, and it will definitely touch your heart. Taylor, from listening to the first chapter, what did you think?
I'm definitely going to read this book. It sounds inspiring.
What did you guys think? Leave a comment below.
If you want to buy this book, you can get it anywhere books are sold.
And that's a wrap for this month's podcast.
See you next time. MT News, keeping you news updated without the bore.